AITA for not letting my twin sister borrow my car after she lied to me and damaged it. I have a twin sister, Jess, 26F, and we've always been close, but recently things have gotten more tense. We've always had a kind of unspoken balance. I'm the responsible one, and she's the free-spirited one. I take care of my things, manage my finances, and plan ahead. Jess, on the other hand, is more impulsive and doesn't always think things through. A few days ago, Jess called me in a panic. Her car had broken down, and she needed to borrow mine to get to an important work meeting the next day. She didn't have a backup plan, and her car was on its last legs for weeks, but she kept putting off fixing it. I wasn't thrilled about the idea of letting her borrow my car, but she's my sister, and I felt guilty about her having no other options. I reluctantly agreed, but I laid out a few conditions. First, I told her that I needed my car back by 5 p.m. the following day because I had plans. I also asked her to top off the gas, since the last few times she borrowed my car, she returned it with barely enough fuel to make it to the gas station. She promised to bring it back on time and fill the tank. The next day came, and by 5 p.m. I hadn't heard from her. I sent a quick text, asking when she'd be back, but got no reply. By 6 p.m. I was getting irritated, so I called her. No answer. By 7 p.m. I was fuming, and by 8 p.m. I was ready to blow up at her. Finally, at 9 p.m., she texted and casually told me she was running late because she had to stop by a friend's house, but she'd be home in 30 minutes. I tried to stay calm, but by 10:30 p.m. I was really starting to get worried. When Jess finally showed up, she was acting like nothing was wrong, handed me the keys with a big smile and said, "Sorry about the wait, sis. Traffic was terrible." I didn't even say anything at first. I just walked to the car to check it. That's when everything went from bad to worse. Not only had she kept my car hours longer than agreed, but the fuel gauge was almost on empty. I couldn't believe it. She had ignored my specific request to return the car with a full tank. When I checked the outside, I noticed new scratches on the passenger side, and there was an unfamiliar smell inside the car, like fast food or cheap cologne. I was absolutely furious. I calmly asked her about the scratches, and she immediately got defensive, saying, "It's just a little scratch, it's not a big deal." I told her that it was a big deal to me. It wasn't about the car itself, but about the fact that she had been careless with something that I'd worked hard for and trusted her with. She then tried to downplay it even more, saying, "It's just a car, relax." I told her that it wasn't just a car, it was my car, and I had trusted her to take care of it. I also reminded her that she had borrowed it before and returned it with issues each time. She'd returned it dirty, with almost no gas, and one time she even left food wrappers everywhere. Her response was that I was overreacting and acting like a diva. She accused me of being selfish and not caring about her emergency with her car. I told her that if she respected me and my things, we wouldn't have these issues, but she just shrugged and said, "I'm sorry, but you're being dramatic." The next day, she texted me asking if she could borrow the car again because her car still wasn't fixed. I didn't even hesitate to say no. I told her I was still upset and that I needed space before she borrowed it again. She immediately called, trying to guilt-trip me, saying I was punishing her and overreacting because she needed the car for work. I told her that it wasn't about her needing the car, it was about the fact that she had shown zero respect for my boundaries. She accused me of being controlling and said that I should just let it go because family comes first. She said I was being too materialistic and that I was focusing on a car rather than being there for her. I told her that it wasn't just a car, it was about respect, and that I wasn't going to let her walk all over me anymore. Now, we're barely speaking. Our mum has stepped in and told me I was being too harsh and shouldn't hold grudges over something so small. But I can't help how I feel. Jess has borrowed my things in the past and hasn't treated them with care. I feel like I've let her get away with it too many times. I don't think it's unreasonable to expect her to treat my property with respect. So, AITA for not letting my sister borrow my car after she lied to me, damaged it and returned it hours late?